friends! So as some of you may know, we just got back from our most recent vacation like a week ago. So this is everything that I packed for 2 weeks in Greece and Egypt. Historically, I have not always been the greatest packer, but I wanted to actually try to look decent for once versus dressing like Adam Sandler, which I normally do. So some considerations for what went into the suitcase this time. We knew it was gonna be hot as hell in both Greece and Egypt. Obviously, we're in the desert. We wanted to be comfortable. I knew there'd be lots of walking and then just travel commute time because we were hopping to islands or taking buses and trains and lots of flights everywhere. I also knew we would need modest options because Egypt just culturally is a more modest country. Plus there was the possibility that we'd be doing churches and mosques and visiting kind of more religious places. So didn't want to be inappropriately dressed. We were also insistent, and this is true of all of our trips, we refused to check a bag. They forced us to check one in Italy and I was outraged. So I needed everything to fit in my carry-on. And then I also didn't want to have preset outfits. What I wear really depends on how I feel for the day. So I knew I wanted to be able to mix and match stuff rather than having like set outfits that I would be forced to wear. Anyway, the strategy, whatever I packed had to be a similar color scheme so I could mix and match. I wanted to have options for layering. And then because of how hot it was, I wanted breathable fabrics. No denim, nothing super heavy. Okay, so I will walk you through everything I packed from like tops to bottoms and shoes and whatnot. And I'll try and link where I got them from, but a lot of these shops are like kind of more boutique retail shops that don't always carry the same items. But you can find something similar because I've checked their sites recently and there's usually something there that is like comparable to what I packed. Starting with the tops. For the nicer tops, I knew I needed a couple of longer sleeves in case I needed to cover up. So I had a Milano button up. That is like a nice beigey color. It's linen. I actually wore this on the plane because it was super soft. Felt like pajamas without looking like pajamas. So I got this one at the Sunny Days outlet and this was like my go-to for throwing it over anything else. I also got a dark brown, like flowy crop long sleeve button up that I got from Zara. I liked this one. It was super lightweight, but like the wrinkles in the fabric sometimes felt a little bit scratchy. It definitely wasn't as comfortable as my other one. And it was a little harder to layer because it was a crop, but still cute. Still threw it on a couple times in the trip. So I also packed this like striped tank top from Stitch & Feather that's more tailored. It was like kind of starchier and structured, but very breathable. I'm pretty sure it was linen or maybe it was, no, I think it was cotton. What else? I also got this more cutesy, girly, pleated sailor-esque tank top that I figured wouldn't get a ton of use in Egypt, but I could wear it in Greece. I did actually end up wearing it in Egypt though, because a lot of like the tourist sites, people are just dressed like they do in the more Western countries, so you're not really out of place wearing something sleeveless. Okay, what else? Oh, I actually packed this little crop top. It's called the Vintage Reversible Crop Top in cool gray. But there's two different necklines. So there's like a deep V and there's more of a scoop in the back, but it's super soft and super stretchy. So even though it's fitted, it's not uncomfy. This one is from NikiBiki. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I also got another top from the same brand. It is the lace textured bralette in French Roast. And that one looks a little more dressy, but similar like feel on the inside where it's stretchy but super soft. So those were like my nicer tops that I packed. I also brought a bunch of stuff like basics that I could layer underneath or over. Most of them were from Fabletics, or I guess Yitty. I guess they were Yitty, but I bought them through my Fabletics membership. I don't know what's going on there, Kate, and you tell me. I have the one piece in a light brown, and then I also had a black fitted tee and a black cami, and those were all a like super thin lightweight nylon, so they took up like zero space in the suitcase. I would say do darker colors of those, because if you got like a white, everything would be visible. They're that thin. Other than that, I packed 2 boxy knitted tees from Uniqlo. Okay, anyway, so those are all the tops. I did also bring one jacket from Fabletics that's lightweight, and that was really more so for the plane because I always get really cold on the plane. I think I wore it maybe like once on the actual trip. So let's get to the bottoms. I only packed 2 pairs of pants. I have a beige tailored pant from Zara. I honestly love these. I tried to see if they were still in stock online or in the store, but they're not listed, which I'm kind of bummed about because I wanted another pair in a different color. They're cotton and elastane, so they look super tailored and they're like structured, but they're super stretchy. So it wasn't difficult to like walk around in them. You can move really easily, and they were surprisingly not that hot. So I wore them both in Greece and Egypt and loved them. I am gonna keep trying to find them because I want another pair. I had another pair of pants, this navy blue flowy linen pant that like when my legs are together kind of look almost like a skirt. Super breathable. I think it's a cotton linen blend. Like my only complaint is that I'm very short and these were a little bit too long. So when I wasn't wearing like my sneakers, when I had my sandals on, I had to hike them up so that they weren't dragging on the floor. I had to like actually hold a bit of the fabric by my hips when we were like in the sandy parts of the desert because I didn't want them to drag. That's my only complaint, but I don't think that's a problem with the pants. I think I'm just short and I probably should have hemmed them, but I bought them kind of last minute before the trip, so that's on me. What else? So I also packed 1 pair of shorts. These are like a white cotton longer short that I got in Uniqlo. Pretty sure this was the Uniqlo in Tokyo. Not sure if they carry them in the Uniqlo in the States. I just wanted shorts that weren't like hiked up booty Daisy Dukes. I wanted something kind of more mid-thigh. Other than the shorts, I also had a longer maxi skirt. It is from the same brand that my button-up was from, Milio Milano. So it was fully linen. Got that from the Sunny Days outlet. Loved that, wore that a ton. And because I am short, I could actually hike the skirt up like over the titties, and then it worked as like a strapless dress too. But I also packed a beaded white dress, also from Stitch and Feather, that I sometimes wore as a skirt too by just throwing a shirt over it. So I kind of had 2 dress skirt options in the suitcase. So those were my tops, those were my bottoms, kind of had 2 dresses, and then I packed a giant t-shirt for sleeping in and like comfy shorts because I just like having something to lounge around in the hotel rooms in sometimes. Yeah, so that was basically all of my clothes, and it all fit in one side of my carry-on. The other side of my carry-on had a pair of shoes and nothing else, which worked out fine because we ended up buying a bunch of souvenirs. So it seems like a lot to me, but it all fit. Most of the things were like space efficient, so they didn't take up a ton of, I didn't talk about accessories or shoes. Let's talk about shoes and accessories. We have been wearing exclusively barefoot shoes for a couple of years now. I wanted a pair of barefoot sneakers to walk around in, but I wanted them to be a little dressier than my usual pair. So I usually wear the Vivos, and I love the Gobies, but they look like Vans. They're definitely athletic sneakers. Didn't really go with the nicer stuff that I packed, so I ended up buying the Dylan leather sneakers. I believe the color is mocha. It's the whatever warm brown color that they have from Zero. These are super comfy. They're actually more padded than the Vivos, and walking around them was fine. My only complaint is that they were kind of squeaky. So if we were like in a tiled flooring situation, which we were in hotels and in museums, those things were squeaking. They were loud. It's kind of embarrassing. But those are the only closed-toed shoes that I brought. I packed a pair of sandals that were barefoot, but a little nicer. So shout out to Lauren, who is the barefoot shoe queen. She hooked me up with Earth Runners, and I ended up getting the alphas with the cloud laces. So they're cute. They're a little bit more feminine, but they also have like a tread on the bottom, so I didn't feel like I was gonna eat shit walking through the desert, through kind of the rockier roads or cobblestone roads of Greece. And that's all I brought. I actually preferred wearing my Earth Runners most of the time because it was hot, so I like letting my dogs be out. I did make sure I walked quite a bit in them before we went on the trip because it did take a little bit of breaking in if you're not used to having like the little strap in between your toes. But like once you have a little callus there, I was walking a ton of steps every day in just my Earth Runners, through sand, up and down temple stairs, and they were great. Love them. If you want a pair, talk to Lauren. Okay. Accessories wise, I didn't bring a ton of jewelry. I brought 2 pairs of earrings, 2 rings, and then I ended up buying a necklace in Greece, like a chain, and then I ended up buying a pendant in Egypt, so I did have that. And I had my like silver bracelet, but that's it. I pretty much wore the same accessories every day if I wore accessories at all. And then I had a couple of bandanas, these little bad boys, just because it got hot and I didn't want to wear like a bucket hat or a little like a baseball cap because I felt like it kind of killed the vibe of the outfits. So yeah, a couple of bandanas bandanas, and it was cool. They gave me options, right? Like I could wear it a bunch of different ways, and I had a couple different colors that I could mix and match. So that was pretty much it. Tops, bottoms, shoes, accessories. I have a cheat sheet over here if you're wondering what I've been looking at. And that was it. Yeah, I brought a couple hair ties and like one jaw clip, but it was pretty minimal. We did do laundry twice. We always make sure we have at least one stay that has laundry available so that we can do that, so we can pack a little lighter. Honestly, we could have gotten away with doing it once. So that's pretty much everything in my suitcase, aside from miscellaneous travel stuff. If you're interested at all in my camera setup that I brought, what I packed in my hygiene bag, anything else, let me know. If you're interested in seeing what Jason packed, if you're looking for kind of more of a menswear approach to 2 weeks in Greece and Egypt, let me know. I'm sure I could convince them to hop on camera and share his suitcase as well. But that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.